All right, so this time around, I did a carbine only USPSA style outlaw match. I decided to use the Springfield Kuna. I'm gonna keep using this to kind of see if I have any issues with it down the road. So because this is a USPSA style outlaw match, the total amount of match footage was, not very much. I think the total amount of footage was less than like 3 minutes. So I'm gonna do this video a little bit differently than normal. Basically, I'll go ahead and talk about the gun right now, then we'll go to the match footage, and then I'm not going to go through each individual stage. I'm probably just going to pick out little things from each stage just to point them out and keep the video relatively short. So basically, if you watched my last video, the setup is pretty much the same. Still using the SBA3 brace, JMac folding AR buffer tube adapter stock thing, whatever you want to call it. Russian PKAS sight. I'm still using this little Arasaka finger stop. And then the only thing that really changed from the last match I did was I took the can off, unthreaded the brake, because if you remember, the brake ended up coming loose on me during the match, and it cost me quite a bit. So went ahead, spun it off, added a little bit of Loctite that is probably too old, threaded it back on, so hopefully that should not come off again during a stage. We'll have to see. I did not run the suppressor for this match because they didn't want you to. I guess they seem to think that silencers and shot timers don't mix very well. I don't know. I haven't had many issues at matches, but hey, that's how they want to run their match, so that's what those are the rules they got to play by. So that's pretty much it. We'll go ahead and get to the match footage.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. If you are finished, unload, show clear. Are you ready? Stand by.
Does that count?
Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. If you're finished, unload, show clear. Face up range for me. Perfect. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. If you're finished, unload, show clear.
That was slow.
Yeah, you hit that one twice. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. If you're finished, unload, show clear. If clear, hammer down.
Okay, so for the stages, I don't really have a whole lot to say for stage 1, 2, or really 3. The only real thing to say on stage 3 is I felt like I was a little bit slow on some of the long range targets. I felt like I probably could have sped it up a little bit, and I guess that's pretty much the same for all the stages. I probably could have sped it up just in general. The first real thing to note was on stage 4. As I'm here in this back corner, I transition over to these leftmost targets, and what I was supposed to do was just move up to this left corner and reload on the way. I kind of forgot my stage plan, so I kind of stumbled there a little bit and wasted a little bit of time. Nothing huge, but you know, for these types of matches, that little bit matters a lot. And then the other thing I want to point out is on this stage 5, the last stage. So this stage, the round count was exactly 30 rounds, which meant I was being pretty careful, trying to make sure I got all my shots. And so when I get done shooting those long range, come over here and shoot this first target on the left. I knew I missed one, so I had to take one more shot at it. So, you know, that meant I had to reload at some point. So I don't know if you caught it there. I did reload, and what ended up happening is on this last target, I'll slow this down so you can get a good view of what happened. On this last target, I went ahead and started reaching for my next magazine as I shot at this target. So I shot that last target one-handed, which, you know, might not have been the smartest thing to do, but the target was pretty close, so it didn't really matter that much. And yeah, it's pretty fun. So that's really all I've got to say for the stages. So we'll go ahead and talk about the scores. So overall for the match, I placed 4th out of 35, which was not bad. I ended up taking 2nd in PCC. However, it should be noted that I did kind of get demolished. Even though I took 4th overall and 2nd within PCC, my score was only about 75% of the person who took 1st. So if this had been a bigger match with better shooters, I probably would have been much further down the list. The guy who took 1st is kind of a beast. My overall time for the match was 121.35 seconds. I ended up with 100 A's, or 100 alpha hits, 49 Charlie hits, 9 Delta hits, 2 mics, and luckily no penalties. All right, so I think the match went okay. It was not a perfect match. I definitely made some mistakes here or there. Regardless, I think the Kuna is doing pretty well. Now, I didn't get this part on camera, but after the match, my friend that I was competing with there, he actually competed with his SBR MP5K. And so we got together after the match and kind of played around and compared the MP5K to the Kuna just a little bit, just to see, you know, how does the Kuna compare, right? Because the MP5 is the standard by which all PCCs are judged. And I was personally really curious to see how the MP5K specifically compared to the Kuna, because, you know, most of the comparisons you see on YouTube right now are all full-size MP5s that are being compared to the Kuna. So I was curious to see if the smaller and lighter MP5K was closer to the Kuna, or if it was, you know, still way better. So we didn't really do anything super special. We just kind of shot them into dirt. Just from the short little string of fire we did, obviously the recoil impulse directly into your shoulder was more with the Kuna. It just is. I was kind of surprised to see that the amount of muzzle jump, right? So when I'm looking at whatever I'm looking at on the berm and shoot, the amount of jump that the dot went was pretty comparable between the two. And then I did have my suppressor with me, so when I put the suppressor on and shot the gun with 147 grain subsonics, obviously it shoots a lot better in that format. Just bare muzzle with 115 grain stuff, I was surprised that MP5K jumped a similar amount to the Kuna. Now, that was a very short range session with both guns, so in the future, me and my friend are planning on getting together at the range. We're going to do kind of a PCC showdown. So he has a bunch of PCCs. His brother-in-law has a few. I have the Kuna. I have a Keltec Sub 2000 as well. So we're going to get together and probably film a video going over a short course of fire, comparing all these different PCCs to see how do they actually compare. No promises on when that video is going to come out. He's pretty busy on the weekends, so it's hard for us to get together all the time. But yeah, that video will come out eventually. So I think that's it for this match. we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If you got any comments, questions, leave them below, and I'll see you on the next video.